Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you an example examples on ordinary and exact interest. The first one is what is the ordinary interest on 5,000 pesos? That is, it could be borrowed or loaned for 100 days at 8% interest rate. Now, we should know that ordinary and exact interest are types of simple interest. So in this problems that we are going to solve, the primary formula that we will be applying is I equals P R T, the basic formula for simple interest. And we will only apply the concept of ordinary and exact interest on how we place the time in the formula. The principal is the same value that we consider whenever we solve for simple interest. The R is still the rate of interest. Okay, so let's work on the first problem. What is the ordinary interest on 5,000 pesos for 100 days at 8% interest rate? Okay, if you have seen my video on the basics of ordinary and exact interest, the main difference between the two is that the ordinary interest considers 360. I always use the 360 days equal to 1 year. The exact interest considers 365 days for a year. So it should not be difficult for you to remember which one is 360 and which one is 365 when you use 365 days for exact, because we all know that when we say 1 year we have 365 days in general. Okay, so 360 is like an approximation. Okay, so the exact is for 365, ordinary is 360 days. Okay, so again, going back to the problem, the principal amount is 5,000. The rate is equal to 8%, so that means 0.08, and then the time is 100 days. So we apply the formula. The I is equal to P times R times T. The principal is 5,000. The rate is 0.08. And then days, the number of the time. So this is in years. So it must be converted into 100 over 360 days. 360 because this is an ordinary interest. So that's where you apply the concept of ordinary interest. It's only in this area where we change the number of days into a year, and to change that, it's 100 over 360 days. Okay, so once you have that set up, all you have to do is to compute for the exact value, and 5,000 times 0.08 times 100 over 360, that will give you around 111.11. Okay, so the interest earned in pesos, so 111.11 pesos. Okay, the follow-up question is, what if this same amount under the same rate but for the exact interest? So what you will do, it's basically the same. So the I is equal to PRT, same P, same R, but it is where you change the conversion. Okay, so from 360, since we have 100 days, we apply 365 instead of 360. because this is an exact interest. Again, this is where the concept of exact interest will be applied. It's on how you convert the days into years. So it's over 365 because 365 is the equivalent number of days for 1 year under the exact interest. And then again, after you have that set up, all you have to do is to compute for the value 5,000 times 0.08 times the fraction 100 divided by 365. It is best if you have a scientific calculator with natural display because all you have to do is to copy how it is written on the screen or whatever setup you have. And this will give us 109.589, so that will be 109.59. Okay, so that's it. That's how you compute for the ordinary and exact interest given the exact number of days that you have to pay for the amount. Okay, the second example, the difference of the second example is that instead of giving you exactly the number of days, it will be given uh, you will be given with the time you borrow the amount, and then the date, rather the date you borrow the amount and the date that you have to pay for the amount. So it's not given as like 100 days, 200 days, okay, but you have to compute first for the number of days. And there are two ways to count the number of days. It's either we use approximate time or we use the actual time. In problem number 2 also, take note that the type of interest that we have to compute is an ordinary interest. Okay, let's start with A, using the approximate time. So for the approximate time, the concept is, if you have seen my video before, approximate time assumes 30 days for each month. February will have 30 days, December will have 30 days, January will have 30 days. All the days will have, all the months will have 30 days. So if we borrowed the amount on August 8, 2019, we have to count the days until May 4, 2020, assuming that we have 30 days per month. Okay, so let's compute. So from August 8, 2019 to May 4, 2020, approximate time. Each month will have 30 days. Okay, so let's list down all the months covered: August, September, October, November, December, January, Feb, March, April, until May. Okay, so starting in August, since the count will start on August 9, that's the first day after August 8. So we can remove all the days from August 1 to 8 from the assumed number of days per month, 30 days. So in August, we have 30 minus 8 days remaining, and that is 22. Okay? And then on September, all the months after August will have an assumed 30 days. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is like 8 times 30. For May, we have until May 4. So May 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 days. So all in all, we have 240 plus the 22. So that's 262 plus 4. That is a total of 266 days. So when we compute for the ordinary interest, so I is PRT. The amount that we borrowed based on our problem is 10,000 pesos. Okay, 9.5 interest rate. So we have 10,000. We place 10,000, 9.5 interest rate, 0.095. And then the time that has to be converted into years, 266. And since this is an ordinary interest, 1 year is equal to 360 days. Again, compute 10,000 times 0.095 times the fraction 266 out of 360, and that is equal to 701.94. So this is the interest that will you have after 266 days. So interest is equal to 701.94 pesos. That is using the approximate time. Now let's look at the next task, and that this time we have to consider the actual time. Okay, so again, we will do a similar approach from August 8, 2019 to May 4, 2020. So August 4, is that August 8, 2019 until May 4, 2020. Okay, so again, we list down all the dates: August, September, October, November, December, January, Feb, March, April, and May. Okay, so August has 31 days. So we have to remove the August 1 to 8 from the 31 days. So we have a total of 23 remaining days for August. 31 minus 8. Why 31? Because this is actual time. Okay, September has 30 days. So we have 30. October has 31. November has 30. December has 31. January has 31. And then February, so this is exact time. 2020 is a leap year, so instead of 28 we have 29. March is January, February, March, that's 31 days. And then April is 30. And May is also 31, but we only have until May 4, so that's 4 days. And then you just have to add all the number of days that we have. So we have 23 plus, or you can do well, you can do it safely. So this is a total of 270 days. Okay, so once we found the number of days, we go back to our basic formula. I is P times R times T. So P is still 10,000, that's the given amount. The rate 0.095 for 9.5%. The time is 270 days divided by, this is an ordinary interest, so you use 360 instead of 365. Compute for the value, 10,000 times 0.095 times the fraction 270 over 360, and that will be 712.50. So that's the interest in peso. Okay, 712.50. If the problem was about exact interest, the only difference that you will have is that the 360 will become 365. How we count the approximate time and the exact time is still the same. Okay, so that's for some examples on ordinary and exact interest. So I hope you already understand the difference between ordinary interest and exact interest, and the approximate time versus the exact time, or what we call the actual time. Okay, so that's it.